My name's Danny Hopkins and I'm editor of Practical Classics magazine. This is the MGB, and this particular one is an MGB GT with the fantastic roofline designed by Pininfarina. The MGB itself can be divided into 4 different subsections. They either came as GTs or roadsters, and they either came with chrome bumpers or rubber bumpers. Now within those 4 subsections, there are more subsections, but those are the 4 main ones you have to choose from. They're fantastic cars and they are very, very desirable, particularly the chrome bumper cars. But the later rubber bumper cars themselves are beginning to creep up in value, and that's why we've got one here, because that's where the bargains can be found. This particular one is a Jubilee version produced in 1975 to mark 50 years of MG. I think it's particularly good looking. I like the way that the gold stripe breaks up the side flanks of the car, also reduces the impact of those impact absorbing bumpers at the end. The MGB V8 wheels are great in black and gold. It really is an imposing car. It looks great on the road, even with its slightly raised ride height. All rubber bumper cars had that. But I think they're a great package, and if you're looking to get into classic car ownership, you could do a lot worse than to start right here. Anyway, this particular car is applicable across the range. It doesn't matter whether it's a rubber bumper or an early car. The same rules apply, particularly when you're checking on the body, and that's what I'm going to do right now. The first thing you should do, if possible, take the wheel off. If you can't, stick your hand up underneath here and have a feel on the inner wing. There's a sort of ledge halfway up. Feel around on the top of that. It's an absolutely brilliant rust spot. And if that's gone, then it's likely that the box section inside it has gone too, and that is a big bill. You want to come down here and then check the sills next. MGBs rely on their sills for their integral strength. It's an absolutely essential part, particularly on the Roadster. They also rust, and that means you have to check really carefully all along. If you've got a magnet, put it in your sock, run it along the sill and make sure that it's sticking to metal all the way along. If it doesn't, that means there's plastic in there. Again, big bill, walk away. If you need any more reassurance, check the door gaps, particularly on Roadsters. If the door gap's uneven, that means the whole car could have sagged, and that is a massive bill. You'll be into a restoration, and I'd say walk away. Finally, the dogleg section at the back here. Again, if there's any rust on the outside of that, it means there's probably something going on inside as well. You could be into another big bill. If you can, get your MGB up in the air. Have a look underneath. Have a look at the chassis rails. If those chassis rails are corroded anywhere near the springs, that's an MOT failure. But also, if it is corroded, that means that there's probably more rust lurking elsewhere as well. You could be into a big restoration project there yourself. Unfortunately, you've got to do it like that because, like most British sports cars, the MGB rusts for fun. So once you've done your cold engine checks, you've checked inside the oil filler cap for mayonnaise, you've checked inside the radiator to make sure that the oil and water hasn't mixed, checked that all the wires are where they should be and everything's in a good condition, check for any evidence of leaks. It's time to get inside the car. And as you can see, the MGB GT has got a fantastic cockpit, very atmospheric, very simple dashboard layouts. This particular one has got a plaque here. The special edition cars often came with plaques giving the car number, because this is obviously a Jubilee. They're produced in limited numbers, as was the limited edition, which is the run-out model in 1980. But above all and beyond, the most important thing about the MGB GT is that you should use it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do now. So I'll start the engine first. That's a very distinctive note that the MGB has got, that lovely kind of long stroke, sort of throaty burble. Again, some MGB engines sound a bit tappety. Don't worry about it being tappety, it's not a problem, they're prone to that. What you should listen for is deep rumbles. Keep an eye at the back as well for blue smoke as well. Worth checking in with the person selling the car to you whether it's been converted for use on unleaded petrol. Again, it's not an alloy head, so that needs to be done at some point. But as long as there's nothing obvious, and this one sounds particularly sweet, there's no reason why you shouldn't go for a drive, so shall we? The MGB should feel like a car that you should be able to do serious distances in. It's comfortable, it's tight, it's got a lovely classic feel. And it's not slow either. Tight in the corners, rack and pinion steering, it's not going to feel vague. And if it does, you need to ask why. Most MGBs that you'll find will come with, particularly the rubber bumper cars, with overdrive. If it doesn't work, it's probably a solenoid. If it isn't a solenoid, you might find yourself with a little bit more expenditure on the cards. It's worth asking the seller to have a little tweak if the overdrive doesn't work. On this car, the overdrive is on the stalk. You pull it back towards yourself to activate it. On some of the later cars, the overdrive switch is on top of the gear lever. Click it backwards and forwards. All in all though, it's fun, it's simple, easy to live with, and in the rubber bumper car you will be in a classic vehicle for next to no money. And that's good value in anybody's book. I drive an MGB. It gets me to work most days. And I wouldn't have it any other way.